And it's Arcanine PC. We're by far the greatest team that the world has ever seen. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You can call me Kagai. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. And if this is your first time here, then welcome to you. I am your coach of the Arcanine Pokemon Club. That is Arcanine PC for short in the NBA. And we are here for our week number 5 battle. Sorry, I'm trying to keep track of all the weeks in my head. Week 5 battle here in the NBA against RejectEngineer, aka New Jeans Fan 14. I'm super shy, super shy. I think that's New Jeans, I'm pretty sure. If not, I'm gonna look really stupid in the video later. So cool. So yeah, we got a week 5 matchup going on right here. They are currently 2-2, while we are currently 3-1. So hopefully we can extend our little win streak we got going right here, move to 4-1 on the season. That would be real nice. I'll read their team off to you guys and break down the Pokemon I'm bringing to the battle, why I chose them, their movesets, all that cool stuff, and the battle will follow after. Also a picture of the team on the screen for you guys so you can follow along with what the opponents might have. So let's hop right into that. So RejectEngineer has a Mega Mawile, a Gouging Fire, Ursaluna Blood Moon, Keldeo, Mandibuzz, Stakataka, Hatterene, Regieleki, and Gibble. I love that they got the little Gibble mascot pick. That's so sick, dude. That's actually like so cool. Alright, so looking at their team, very solid Fairy Dragon Steel Core and Mega Mawile, Stakataka, and Gouging Fire. Very good offensive attacker with Keldeo, some good defensive backbones in the Mandibuzz. Regieleki just to outspeed literally everything under the sun. And then Ursaluna Blood Moon can be a very scary setup sweeper as well. So pretty solid team overall. I don't think the Gibble comes this week. Just a bit of a spoiler. I'm pretty sure the Gibble probably won't be coming this week. If it is, I'll do a backflip. Not gonna lie. So yeah, that's the Pokemon that they could bring. Hi, Fifi. I love that you always interrupt every video I'm doing. Let's take a look at the Pokemon I'm bringing, why I'm bringing them, all that cool stuff. First up is the team captain, of course. We've got Lucina the Sneasler, holding that choice band with the Poison Touch ability, and the moves U-Turn, Poison Jab, Close Combat, and Toxic. Basically, I just want Sneasler to hit stupid hard this week. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. A lot of my strategy this week is going to focus around wearing down the opponent's team with hazards and kind of like phasing them out, swapping around, making them bring in different mons, all that cool stuff. So that's why a lot of the team is going to have either momentum or phasing moves on it. In fact, I'm pretty sure everybody on the team except for one, because it doesn't get any types of those moves. Well, actually, it does get one phasing move, but I didn't put it on it. Basically, everybody on the team is going to have either a momentum move this week or a phasing move this week. So I figured that would be a good thing to do to kind of get some hazards up. Let Sneasler get in, get out, hit really hard if it needs to. Fiora, you need to get away from my microphone wire, sweetheart. You gotta go. Come on. No. You know you're not allowed to do that. So yeah, we got U-turn on this thing so we can swap around, keep momentum up on our side of the field. Poison Jab is there to do really solid damage to the Keldeo. Does good damage to the Hatterene if it's not Terra. And then Close Combat kind of cleaves through a lot of the team. Mega Mawile does not want to take one very much, especially after it Mega Evolves and no longer has Intimidate. Ursaluna Blood Moon gets cooked. Stakataka before it Terras gets cooked. All that cool stuff. And then Toxic is here because I feel like one of the most likely switch-ins to Sneasler this week is... excuse me. Or I should say most likely two, depending on what set he's running. But the first one that I feel like is the most likely is the Stakataka. Or not the Stakataka, excuse me. That gets bodied by Close Combat. The Mandibuzz, because it takes neutral damage from all my attacks, and I don't really have a way to hit it for super effective damage. And Mandibuzz is deceptively bulky, so I want a Toxic on here to catch it on a switch-in, possibly, and make it have many end up being on a timer. The other thing I could see them maybe bringing in is like a defensive, bulky Gouging Fire to set up with like the Breaking Swipe Dragon Dance set or whatever it's called, I think. I feel like that might be a switch-in. Possibly. So I have Toxic here as well to catch that thing, put it on a timer, all that cool stuff. Max attack, adamant nature on this thing to try to just hit as physically hard as possible. Just absolutely punching things in the throat, taking names, all that cool stuff. Then max speed as well, but we're not going Jolly this week because I just want to hit stupid hard. So that's Lucina. Next up is Rhea Arcurum. Holding the Life Orb with the Pressure ability, Roost, Ice Beam, Earth Power, Draco Meteor. I am still running this set, and it is still really good. This Pokemon does not... There's not really many Pokemon that want to switch in on his team into this thing. For example, Mega Mawile, Earth Power. Gouging Fire, Draco Meteor. Ursaluna Blood Moon, Ice Beam. Keldeo's the only one, but Keldeo does not want to take a Draco Meteor from Life Orb. Ice Beam for Stakataka. Or Ice Beam for Mandibuzz. Earth Power for Stakataka. Earth Power for Regieleki. The only things that he really has that can switch in and not take super effective damage this week are the Keldeo and the Hatterene. And depending on the Hatterene's Terra type, we might be able to do some stuff with it. Like if it's Terra Steel, we can Earth Power it. So I decided to just kind of let Kyurem kind of take names this week. So again, goal of this battle is to phase everything out, switch around with momentum, and let either Sneasler or Kyurem clean. So that's why you'll see we've got a lot of momentum later on. We've got a lot of phasing later on as well. So yeah, we're going to be trying to do a lot of phasing, a lot of keeping up momentum, and then Kyurem or Sneasler should hopefully be able to clean. That's kind of the strat this week. Max speed, max special attack on this thing with a Timid Nature to get just a little bit extra speed. And yeah, we're just trying to hit stupid hard with the Life Orb. And yeah, that's Rhea this week. Still running the set. It's still good. Next up is Frederick, our Ting-Lu, holding leftovers with Vessel of Ruin, Spike, Stealth Rock, Whirlwind, Earthquake. So yeah, like I mentioned previously, goal of the week is hazard stacking to the point where Lucina or Kyurem can just come in and click buttons. That's kind of the main goal of this team. Because I believe they only really have one form of hazard removal, and it's the Defog. Oh no, Regieleki does get Spin. So there's that too. So it's Mandibuzz, Defog, Regieleki, Spin, or they could bounce them back with Hatterene. But if Hatterene doesn't come, then honestly our Spikes and Stealth Rocks are just kind of free. Because I can use Whirlwind to kind of pivot around. I can use my U-turn, my future Volt Switch that you'll see later to pivot around. So we've got plenty of options here. Spikes and Stealth Rock to get as many hazards up as possible. Whirlwind to phase out his team, do a little bit of chip damage here and there, especially if he's not running any heavy-duty boots. And Earthquake is just there for general damage. Hits everything except the Mandibuzz, which, like, I'm going to Whirlwind the Mandibuzz out anyway. If it Toxics me, oh darn. But for the most part, it's just here to kind of eat up hits from some of his more offensive threats, and then be able to kind of swap out from there. So yeah, we got a good amount of moves on this thing, good amount of HP. By good amount, I mean max. A ton of Spadef being 200, and then a little bit of defense at 60. Because Vessel of Ruin makes it so we take 1/3 less damage from special attacks, so that might mean we can take like an emergency hit from like an Ursaluna Blood Moon. But for the most part, Ting-Lu's goal in this battle is just be annoying, be bulky, phase things out, and get hazards up. Because we've got other ways of dealing with a lot of his more offensive threats. So that is Frederick this week. Next up is Linhardt holding the Assault Vest with the Regenerator ability, Scald, Ice Beam, Grass Knot, Dragon Tail. Yeah, so this is my check for basically all of his special attackers, outside of Regieleki, of course. So Ursaluna Blood Moon, if it has Calm Mind, I can Dragon Tail it out, and it doesn't really want to take a Grass Knot or a Scald. Something like the Mandibuzz, I can just kind of like swap around that, I suppose. But the main reasons I brought this thing are the Ursaluna Blood Moon and the Keldeo. Because I take 0 damage from either of Keldeo's stabs, and unless this Ursaluna's like Choice Specs Blood Moon, which like I don't know why you'd be running that, we basically eat any hit that it could possibly throw at us. So Scald does good damage to the Mega Mawile, can get a burn, does good damage to Gouging Fire as well. We can also Dragon Tail it out if it tries to D-dance in our face. Ursaluna Blood Moon doesn't really want to take a Scald or a Grass Knot, same with Keldeo. Mandibuzz gets Ice Beamed as well as Dragon Tailed out. Stakataka don't really want to take a Grass Knot either. The only thing that really could be annoying to deal with Slowking is the Regieleki because of just how hard it hits. But we have other means of dealing with that, like Regieleki cannot touch Frederick. So honestly, like between Frederick and Linhardt and the next Pokemon that you'll see coming up, we kind of shut down all of his offensive threats. Like, yeah, we have to pivot around a little bit, but we have ways to heal ourselves with Regenerator or with Roost on Moltres that you'll see in a second. So we've got plenty of stuff that allows us to pivot around, heal ourselves up, and just make sure they can't get their threats going. So we got max HP, max special defense on this thing. It's just going to eat up every hit. That's the kind of the goal for it. Eat up hits from the Keldeo, eat up hits from the Ursaluna, and then go from there. Next up is Sita, our Moltres, holding the heavy-duty boots with Flame Body. Roost, Will-O-Wisp, Whirlwind, Flamethrower. Again, keeping that hazard stack phasing idea up. Trying to make sure we can just freely phase something out if it tries to set up in our face. Get some extra chip damage off if Ting-Lu can set up Stealth Rocks or Spikes. Will-O-Wisp is there to burn a lot of his major offensive on the physical side threats, like something like the Stakataka on a switch-in, or maybe the Mega Mawile. We can't really burn Gouging Fire, which kind of blows, but I can Whirlwind it out, and I'm going to eat up hits from it because I'm max HP, max defense. So that's currently the plan for this thing, just to be an annoying, physically defensive Pokemon, Whirlwind things around, set up Lucina and Kyurem again to get in and hit stupid hard. Yeah, Flamethrower was there to do decent damage, I guess. Like, for the most part, though, this is just here to be a defensively bulky, annoying Pokemon. Like, that's basically it. Max HP, max defense on this thing. And finally, Catherine, our Mega Manectric with the Lightning Rod ability, holding the Manectite with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Toxic. This moveset is the moveset I'm probably going to run the entire season. It's just that good. Volt Switch does pretty good damage, gives you momentum as well, which I really, really like. I like being able to keep up momentum and stuff. Thunderbolt does good damage to the Mandibuzz, the Keldeo, all that cool stuff. Does decent damage to Mega Mawile as well. Flamethrower is just kind of here. I need a fourth move. And it's just kind of here. Maybe we catch a Terra Steel Hatterene. I don't know. And then Toxic, mainly because I feel like his switch into this thing could very well be the Ursula and the Blood Moon to try and step in my face. There's not really much we can do back at it. So we can just Toxic in his face, pivot out to Slowking, and we're chilling. Max speed, max special attack on this thing with a timid nature, just to make sure we can outspeed everything on his entire team. And kind of just be stupid annoying and hit stupid hard. Well, outspeed everything besides the Regieleki, obviously. Like, I ain't outspeeding that thing. We already know that. So yeah, max speed, max special attack on this thing, timid nature, and should again be able to pivot around with Volt Switch, be able to catch something with a Toxic, all that cool stuff. Again, trying to make sure we stay pivoting around with a lot of hazards up so that either Kyurem or Sneasler can clean. That is 1000% the strategy this week. So hopefully we're able to put it into fruition and pick up the hashtag Dubski this week. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the team down in the comments. Let me know what you like that I brought. Let me know what you think I should have done differently. What would you have done? All that cool stuff. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Let's go ahead and jump right into the battle. I will see you guys in just a moment. Alright, we are back. We got all linked up with New Jeans Fan 14, aka RejectEngineer. I'm super shy, super shy. And we are here for the battle. Looking at their team, a lot of things I expected to come are here. No Keldeo, which is good for me. I do have Slowking, but still. Ursula and the Blood Moon I expected. The only thing that I wasn't really sure if they would bring or not was the Regieleki. Because, like, yeah, it outspeeds my entire thing, but I have basically, like, the ultimate shutdown for this Pokemon with TING-LU. So I'm not sure what their strat with that is. Probably makes a good spinner here. And Volt Switch is kind of free into the majority of my team that's not Ting-Lu. So I guess there's that. Looking at possible leads on the opponent's side of the field, I'm thinking probably... I'm trying to remember what they actually led with. But I think, like, in my mind when I was first playing this match, I was honestly thinking they could lead with, like, the Regieleki to try and get the Volt Switch off. I saw they could maybe lead the Mega Mawile to try and get that Mega Evolution off pretty quickly. But I think they actually end up leading with Stakataka. So let's jump right in and see. I'm pretty sure I decided to lead here with Manectric just because, like, it's kind of free. So yeah, they do end up leading with the Stakataka, as I end up leading the Manectric. So immediately I'm thinking, alright, well, I can't really go for Toxic onto this thing. And we actually do see that on the Stakataka, he is Terra Flying. So, like, I can just freely Volt Switch because I know he's not Terra Ground on this guy. So now I don't have to worry about my Volt Switches not getting caught here. So basically my decision is, like, I'm just going to click Volt Switch and bring in my Ting-Lu at this point and just try and get up some hazards. Let's do it. So I Mega Evolve, get the Intimidate off. Go for Volt Switch here into this guy. Do a solid 38%. So he's not running Spadef, because that's some good damage right there. Oops. I'm trying to just catch up to the chat. And then I'm going to Volt Switch out here. Right into my Ting-Lu, as we see that he sets up the Trick Room here. So Ting-Lu is pretty slow, but it's not Stakataka slow. So I'm pretty sure this thing's still going to outspeed me into a Trick Room. But we see we're just going to end up switching out into the Ursula and the Blood Moons. I actually go ahead and click Whirlwind, predicting to see, like, what he would want to bring in. Basically, I didn't think he was going to want to stay in right here. So I was like, I'm just going to be annoying, try to catch him a little bit off guard, see what he wants to send in right now. As he actually ended up bringing the Ursula and the Blood Moon in, while I just click Whirlwind here, and luckily for me, the Regieleki gets brought in. So we'll take that. So right here, I'm thinking, alright, I can just probably set up a Spike. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get a Spike up on his side of the field, so now we can be a little bit annoying. And again, we see that the leftovers on the Stakataka, as he goes for Body Press, does a solid amount of damage, but I can just freely click Whirlwind Get the Regieleki again, and I get a little bit of lefties recovery, and I know this thing cannot touch me. So he could have Rapid Spin and get rid of my hazards, but like at the same time, I can just kind of either freely Whirlwind again or click Earthquake. As we see, he brings in the Hatterene, probably expecting me to set up another set of spikes, but I'm like, that thing is kind of annoying, and I don't really want to get spikes up on my side of the field, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and just fire off a nice little Earthquake, do a good chunk of damage to this guy, a solid 40%. Nothing huge, but 40% adds up. We see here that I get the leftovers, no item reveal on this thing. I'm going to swap out into my Manectric here, just see what he wants to do, and we see he's actually going to Healing Wish. I was a little bit surprised he threw away the Hatterene so early, especially because I feel like it's really good into something like Kyurem, if it's really specially bulky, depending on the Terra type too, for that matter. But I feel like it is also good for getting passive recovery off of Ting-Lu if it has like Draining Kiss, or if it's like a Calm Mind user, but clearly it wasn't Calm Mind. It might have been Draining Kiss, it might have been something. But now also what is annoying for him is my hazards are basically guaranteed now, because unless he has Spin on Aleki, he has no other way of hazard removal or hazard control with Magic Bounce Hatterene. So I can basically just set up all the hazards I want now. As he's going to bring in the Gouging Fire right here, we see he is Booster. I went and calced this, and no matter what it went for, I lived. So I was like, I'm just clicking Volt Switch, man. It's fine. I'm just clicking the Volt Switch button. Metric, I don't really need this much in this game, so I was like, I'll just click the Volt Switch. If he D-dances, great. I have an easy switch into Moltres, and I can just click Whirlwind, get this thing gone. As we see, he goes for the Dragon Claw, swallowed it up. Moltres, you are so good. Only does 36% from a +1 Gouging Fire, as we can freely just get this Whirlwind off, and his Spike, or his Pokemon are going to keep timming Spike damage, and that Dragon Dance was all for naught. In comes the Mega Mawile. He does not want that in, though, I can promise you that, because that thing gets bodied by a Moltres Flamethrower, and I guarantee outspeed it unless he has Sucker Punch. So he's going to actually swap in to the Regieleki here. And me, I'm just going to heal myself, go ahead and roost up, get back to full HP, because I have a free switch into this thing all day. I have the freest switch into this thing all day. But he actually makes a good double here, bringing in the Ursaluna. Again, like, I do have Whirlwind on my Ting-Lu, so realistically, I could just phase it out again. But why bother when I literally have Slowking here to eat up hits from this thing for days? I do get some extra little bit of leftovers recovery on Ting-Lu, and we do see he's leftovers on the Ursaluna. But I know Slowking is my switch in, so I just 1000% bring in Slowking here. Swallowed! Slowking took 29 from that thing, dude. I know it's unboosted, but that is insane. Slowking, you defensive monster. You are insane, Lindhart. So I take literally nothing from this thing. And I'm like, well, he can't go for that again, so I'm kind of free to just, like, do whatever I want. As he's going to bring in the Aleki. Very good play on his part, but he doesn't realize I got that detail on deck. Why don't you bring that Stack Attacka back in, buddy? Dude, I love this idea. I know, like, we only have one layer of spikes up, but that 12% adds up, man. It really does add up. It's doing good work to his team. I'm going to obviously swap out here. I don't really want Slowking to take, like, a big hit from this guy. He might just Trick Room, but he also is thinking he could end up tearing. So I'm going to bring in my Ting-Lu here. I know he could Body Press and do good damage, but he actually makes a double into Mawile. Not too sure why he did that, but I guess it worked out because he's got the Fairy type in. So that's a plus for him. So I'm like, I mean, at this point, like, Ting-Lu's kind of done its job. I guess I could just, like, sack it. So I go for Earthquake as the Regieleki decides to come in, probably trying to spin. And now my hazards are guaranteed. Like, he has no other way of hazard removal. We have seen no heavy-duty boots on anything. We've seen lefties on Ursaluna, lefties on Stack. Mawile has its Mega Stone, obviously. And then Gouging Fire is Booster Energy, which has already been used up. So, like, spikes are just guaranteed here to do work and take some damage off of his team. So that thing goes down to an Earthquake, and Ursaluna comes in, and, like, honestly, I'm just like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna be annoying and get up another layer. At this point, I'm just like, whatever, man. It's fine. He's gonna Blood Moon, and I eat. Only does 50% to Ting-Lu. Ting-Lu, you are insane, dude. You are so insane. 50% from a +1 Ursaluna Blood Moon. And we only, I think we were, what, plus I'm pretty sure we have 200 special defense. I know we have also our ability that reduces the damage by 1/3, but still, like, that is insane, dude. +1 Ursula Bloodman only doing 51% to a Ting-Lu. And I'm just like, well, when in Rome, might as well phase him out and get some more chip damage off. So this does a solid 16 extra percent to the Mega Mawile. And at this point, I'm like, alright, Ting-Lu's done its job. I don't really know if this thing has, like, Thunder Punch or anything yet. So I don't know if I want to switch into Moltres right away. I'm just like, I'll just sack off Ting-Lu here if it happens. He also can miss Play Rough. He doesn't, which I'm kind of glad he didn't, because that would have just been, like, bullying at this point. And does KO the Ting-Lu. But one thing we see here is there are no switch-ins to be found on his side of the field for Ricurum. So I'm just like, I'm clicking Earth Power, hold this. As he actually brings in the Ursaluna here, Earth Power goes off, does a solid 43% thanks to the Life Orb, and I can easily take this thing out next turn with a nice and solid little Ice Beam. So Kyurem picks up its first KO of the game. Looking nice and powerful doing it as the Stakataka comes in. So we know, because this is a Terra preview draft, that he is Terra Flying. So I was really tempted to click the Ice Beam here in case he Terra'd, but I also was predicting like maybe a double Mind Game going on. And I really didn't want Kyurem to go down, especially because it just kind of wins at this point. So I was like, I'll just be safe, and I'll bring in my, I believe it's Manectric? Yes, I bring in Manectric, get off an Intimidate, just to be a little bit more annoying, as he brings in the Mawile on the double. Again, not quite sure why, but Manectric is in. I can just Volt Switch, and this thing goes down. So I guess what he's doing is he's trying to get in a position to pick up a kill. So, like, he's making smart ideas by trying to get off, because he's clearly on the back foot right now. He's got 2 spikes up on his field. Both his Pokemon are about half HP, if not lower. So he's on the back foot right now, clearly. Like, defense, or Dragon Dance, Gouging Fire is kind of his best way to win at the moment. But I kind of know that, so I'm, like, playing around that specifically. Because I know, like, for the most part, my team can kind of handle things from there. So what I'm trying to do is just position myself in a way where I don't let Dragon Dance Gouging Fire set up, and I'm basically just kind of pivoting around that way. So he's trying to make his doubles to get his Pokemon in position, but in my mind, I'm just like, I click button to kill thing. Like, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So I see the vision, but it ends up not working out, unfortunately. In comes the Stakataka. We know he is Terra Fairy on this, or Terra Flying on this. He is going to go for it. I was this close to Poison Jabbing there. This close. But we're Choice Band. I was like, I'm just going to play it safe and go for a little Yui. So I'm going to U-turn out into my Mega Manectric, because I know that's just free. Get an extra Intimidate off. As we see, he's going to Trick Room here. So he guaranteed outspeeds me under Trick Room, which is fine. He does 28% to me with Gyro Ball. I can just freely click Volt Switch, though, and that Stakataka is going to drop. So his last mon is the Stakataka, or the Gouging Fire, which he's going to bring in right here. As I bring in Sneasler, and I know Choice Band Close Combat picks up the KO on this guy. So I'm not too worried. I can just freely go ahead and click it, as he has to D-Dance here. And the Gouging Fire is going to drop. And your Arcanine Pokemon Club pick up the hashtag Dubski, moving to 4-1 on the season. I think the plan came to fruition perfectly. We got our hazards up. We phased everything around, did a little bit of chip damage here and there to all of his team members. Made sure that he was constantly on the back foot, having to work against what we were trying to do to him. I feel like we executed that game plan perfectly. Like, I don't really know what else to say besides, like, we kind of just did what we knew what you need to do, and we just showed up and did it. And honestly, that's the most you can ask from a game of draft, is you know what you got to do with the game plan. You show up, it goes to fruition. It's a successful week. So we'll take it. Your Arcanine Pokemon Club moved to 4-1. GG's to New Jeans Fan 14. I'm super shy. I'm not doing it again. GG's New Jeans. Was really great battling you. Best of luck in the rest of the season to you. Yeah. Let me know what you guys saw of the battle down in the comments. What did you think I did well? What did you think I could improve on? Let me know what your favorite team member of the Arcanine Pokemon Club is down in the comments as well. Yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll see you guys back here next week. Make sure to leave a like on the video. It helps me out a ton. And also consider subscribing as well. We're on our way to 500 subscribers. That's my goal for the year. I'd really appreciate if you could help me hit that. And I will be back here next week for our Week 6 battle. It's going to be an interesting one. That's all I'm going to say. Because I believe we are going against the only undefeated team next week, Mr. Lethal Blue. We're going to be going up against the only remaining undefeated team in the league, so maybe we can take them down. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Definitely subscribe if you're new around here. Your Arcanine Pokemon Club, your Arcanine PC. Pick up that hashtag Dubski this week. I'll see you guys back here next week for another exciting battle. Until then, though, I'll leave you with this. Peace.